Spider-Man, your friendly neighborhood superhero, and arguably one of the most recognizable characters ever created. Whether you've been reading comics for years, grew up watching the animated series, or you're just coming off the hype of Spider-Man Brand New Day, chances are Spider-Man is one of the first characters you're looking at Marvel Tokon. But is he actually worth maining? Is he beginner-friendly? Does he have a high skill ceiling? And most importantly, will he fit your playstyle? Today we're breaking down everything you need to know. Welcome to Ryūdō Forge, where we forge the path. Spider-Man is exactly what you'd expect. He's fast, he's agile, he's incredibly mobile, and he excels at frustrating opponents by attacking from angles most characters simply can't. Rather than overpowering enemies through raw strength, Spider-Man wins by constantly staying one step ahead. If your opponent is always guessing where you'll attack from next, you're playing Spider-Man correctly.
Excellent! Yes, let's keep this up.
Spider-Man's greatest strength is his mobility. His web swings, aerial options, wall movement, and quick mobility allow him to control space unlike almost anyone else on the roster. A lot of fighting game characters move in straight lines. Spider-Man doesn't. He attacks from above, below, behind, and sometimes before your opponent even realizes he's committed. If you enjoy constantly repositioning and making your opponent chase you, Spider-Man immediately becomes one of the strongest candidates to main.
Yes, let's keep this up.
Spider-Man also excels at offensive pressure. His speed allows him to stay in your face and keep opponents guessing. Will he go high, low, cross up, reset, grab? When your opponent starts hesitating, Spider-Man starts winning. That mental pressure is often just as dangerous as the actual combos. Spider-Man isn't a character you'll master in a weekend. He's one of those characters where every player develops their own style. Some players rely heavily on movement. Others become combo artists. Others become setup specialists. The more time you invest, the more Spider-Man rewards creativity. Of course, with freedom comes a price. Spider-Man isn't always easy. His mobility requires practice. His combo routes require practice. His movement requires practice. If you're looking for a character that immediately dominates with very little effort, Spider-Man probably isn't your first choice. Spider-Man is incredibly fast, but he also tends to be lighter and relies heavily on momentum. If you overextend, whiff an approach, or become predictable, good players will absolutely capitalize. Spider-Man rewards confidence, but he punishes recklessness. Spider-Man is at his weakest when he's forced to fight on someone else's terms. Characters with zoning tools or fast projectiles can completely disrupt his rhythm. Spider-Man thrives on constant movement, unpredictable approaches, and staying in your opponent's space. But if your opponent can quickly fill the screen with projectiles, chains, whips, or other long-range attacks, suddenly those web swings become much riskier. A well-timed projectile can stop Spider-Man before he ever gets his offense started. Likewise, characters with powerful screen control can lock down the air, removing Spider-Man's greatest strength, his freedom to approach from almost any angle. For example, I will think twice before pitting Spider-Man against characters like Ghost Rider, Iron Man, or Carnage. Their ability to rapidly control space can interrupt Spider-Man's momentum and force him to play a much slower, more patient game. That doesn't mean Spider-Man can't win those matchups, but it does mean you'll have to earn every opening instead of dictating the pace. Marvel Tokon is built around tag mechanics. Spider-Man naturally benefits from teammates that can either cover his approach or extend his already impressive combo potential. Characters with projectiles, large hitboxes, or strong assists will likely pair extremely well with him. They can force opponents to block, creating the exact opening Spider-Man wants to exploit. Likewise, Spider-Man can use incredible mobility to convert stray hits into devastating team combos. expect Spider-Man to become one of the most experimented with themed characters shortly after launch.
Over here. I'm famously responsible for your bruises. Excellent.
So, how difficult is Spider-Man?
Delivery.
I'd say it's about 4 out of 5 stars. Easy to understand, hard to master. He'll be effective fairly quickly, but mastering his movement could take dozens, if not hundreds of matches. The skill ceiling is high, so is the payoff, and that's what separates a good Spider-Man player from a great one. If you're willing to invest the time, Spider-Man will reward you every step of the way. So who should main Spider-Man? You should absolutely main Spider-Man if you love fast characters, you enjoy constantly moving, you like mix-ups, you don't mind spending time in training mode, and you enjoy expressing yourself through creative gameplay. If you want a character that rewards imagination more than memorization, Spider-Man might be exactly who you're looking for. So who shouldn't main Spider-Man? Spider-Man may not be for you if you prefer slower, heavier characters, you want straightforward game plans, or you'd rather win through raw power than movement. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Characters like Hulk, Captain America, or Doctor Doom may end up fitting that playstyle much better. Should you main Spider-Man? Absolutely, if you're willing to put in the work. Spider-Man has all the tools to become one of the most exciting and strongest characters in Marvel Tokon. His mobility, creativity, pressure, and nearly limitless expression give him one of the highest skill ceilings in the game. Spider-Man doesn't reward shortcuts, he rewards dedication. The better you become, the better he becomes. If you enjoy outthinking your opponents, staying one step ahead, and making every match look different, then Spider-Man is an outstanding choice.
Amazing.
So, let's put it all together. Spider-Man has some of the best mobility in Marvel Tokon. If you love constantly repositioning, changing angles, and making your opponent guess where he's coming from next, he's second to none. Once Spider-Man gets his offense started, he excels at keeping opponents on the defensive. His speed and mixed-up potential make it incredibly difficult to breathe. His damage is respectable, but raw damage isn't what makes Spider-Man dangerous. He wins through momentum, relentless pressure, and opening you up over and over again. This is where Spider-Man truly shines. His toolkit gives you an incredible amount of freedom to express yourself, and no two great Spider-Man players will look exactly the same. New players can absolutely have fun with him, but getting the most out of Spider-Man requires time, patience, and a willingness to learn. If you're willing to invest in him, Spider-Man has everything you could want in a long-term main. He's exciting, rewarding, expressive, and has all the tools to compete at the highest level. So, what did you think? Will Spider-Man be your main? Or are you waiting for someone else? Let me know down in the comments. And if this guide helps you decide, consider subscribing. I'll be covering every character in Marvel Tokon with my Should You Main series as we continue forging our way through the roster. Until next time, forge the path.